Hey, this is Leslie with Comfortable Shoes Studio, and welcome to Make It Mine number 8. And in this video, I'm using some paint markers, my favorite, Molotow. They're acrylic paint markers, they're water-based, they have great colors, they flow great. The other thing that I really like about them, even though they are a bit spendy, the tips are replaceable and swappable. So any of the, like in this case, it's a 2mm marker, can also take the 1mm and 1.5mm tips, and they fit in fine. The tips are also, you can flip them. Some of them, the 2mm flip tips, you can flip over, I believe, and use the reverse side, so you get 2 uses out of each tip. And for me, that's really important. I like being able to reuse them as much as possible. And sometimes I squash those tips to get like a different mark making experience. And added to that, they have lots of colors that are available, but because they are refillable, you can get empty markers and fill them with your own ink and paint. Because you can rip those tips off, the whole front half of it, you can fill it with your own paint, so you can get custom colors. And I have used Liquitex acrylic inks in it. I've used golden fluid acrylics, FW acrylic inks. So basically any acrylic ink is going to fit inside of these markers and flow pretty well. I've also used Montana paint inside of them, and it just works great. So Molotow markers are fantastic. The only one of theirs, which you can see on the right hand side, is the liquid chrome. The liquid chrome is an alcohol-based marker. It is fantastic, but it's not as swappable as the other markers because it is an alcohol-based ink instead of their usual acrylic-based ink. So I'm just using a bunch of my favorite colors to kind of add some more me to these prints from Robin. I've got that lime green, which really matches with the background that I added, and I use that a lot as highlights. And then another great thing, not to like plug, I'm not paid by Malto, but hey, Malto, hit me up. Not that I'm at a point where anyone's going to sponsor my videos, but their paints inside of these paint markers are pretty opaque, so they do a good job of covering up. So the green, the teal, and this blue color, which I think is called petrol, is just like a nice blue-black color that I really dig. So I use these colors a lot, and then the white that I'll be using in a little bit is a natural white, so it's like an unbleached titanium, but on the whiter side of unbleached titanium. And I like that because I think it's a little softer and less harsh than a typical white paint. So a key thing to remember when using paint markers over the top of any acrylic paint or acrylic gel medium is to make sure that that first layer of acrylic medium is 100% dry. if you use acrylic paint pens of any sort, whether it's Malto, Posca, any of the other brands, you know, if you get the Amazon knockoffs, any of them, the tips will clog with gel medium or acrylic paint. And even if like you've got, you know, replaceable tips, if you use that on top of an uncured, undried acrylic paint, you're gonna clog it up and you're gonna ruin your tip. And with the Malto, you'll just go through tip after tip after tip after tip. It'll be really annoying because you'll get spotty, crappy coverage with your paint marker, and it's just frustrating. So just wait. Like I waited several hours, and it's winter, so we've got the wood fire going, so it's pretty dry in my house, which dries acrylic paint very, very quickly. Yeah. So I'm adding a little bit of the liquid chrome paint marker here, and I love it. It does not show up well on the camera how reflective this is. This is a paint marker that I do use sparingly because it was so spendy, and I can't. Part of me is like I should just use it. But also, I think this paint marker was like $10. The rest of the Malto markers are, you know, at Artisan Craftsman, I think in the $6 range, and you know I can refill them easily. This one I can't. I should see if I can get some chrome paint from Malto to fit into that marker. But yeah, I use it sparingly, and for highlights, some of my handmade stickers, I will use this marker on it, and I love it. But it was so expensive. So with any good journal turned into an art journal, you must remove pages, or the journal will not close properly. And since this is an art journal that I am intending as a traveling journal, as in what I mean to say is that it is going to go with me. It's going to be in my backpack. It's going to go with me to work. It's going to go with me to the coffee shop or when I go for my walks. So it needs to be able to close. This journal does have an elastic closure, so I do want it to remain relatively flat. Normally with my art journals, I don't care so much if it kind of puffs up a little bit and gets too thick for the spine. In the case of this one, I really need it to stay flat. So I am removing one set of pages, so one sheet from every signature in the book. And at first, like, I'm looking at it, like, at the end, and I'm thinking, I don't know, I might have taken too many out. But I also know that I'm going to end up gluing a lot of stuff in. I'll be doing some collage work in here. And in general, um, just adding a lot to the thickness of this journal. And I did start just kind of tearing these out, and I was having trouble with them tearing cleanly. And so I do grab a craft knife and lightly score on the folds, and that works much better. So it is out of frame in this video, but I did go through between the last section and this section, and mark with a little tab that looks like a pencil, which you can't really see until I pull the pages out, the middle of each section, so that I could find them easily while I was working through. And it did speed this process up, so that I'm not wasting a lot of time trying to find the middle of those signatures. And I was able to just kind of speed through and pull everything out. Now this paper that I'm pulling out, I will end up using. If you've never bought a Baron Fig journal before, their paper is fantastic for both pencils and fountain pens and just general, like, gelling. Lovely paper. I will end up writing letters on this and possibly drawing or doodling or whatever. With all of my journals, when I pull pages out, I throw a couple of the sections into the back of the journal to kind of use as scratch paper, to, like, write quick notes on and things like that. So, you know, some of this paper is going to, like, travel with this journal for a while until I use it to scrap, or to draw on, or to write a letter on, or fill in the blank. The paper is too nice to throw away. So here I am at the end of the book. I've ripped out all the signatures, and yeah, it's good. Like, I'm pretty happy with how this journal turned sketchbook turned out, and I'm looking forward to having it be my traveling journal, because it is just a little bit smaller than the journal that I was using before. So I do want to say a quick thank you to all of my viewers, people who've clicked the links, shared the links. People who've hit my Amazon wish list and sent me some of the stuff on it. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thanks to all of you, this channel is happening. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you so very much. I appreciate you. And thank you for watching.